Hi. I have a viewer. Oh wait, that was just me on my iPhone. Posting the link. Very funny. Professor, you're funny. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh my god, this show is so rude. Alright. Should have been done with this long ago. Thought I'd be done last night, and then I got caught up. Michael Kinney is the devil. Okay, so I got for what he did to prevent me from finishing last night. I blame him. All right, as you can see, my main screen is. Oh, jeez. As you can see, my main. Does he know I'm streaming? I am streaming. I'm live. Does he know? He didn't say it in all that time. Okay. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. On the main stream, on the main screen is the streaming from my Wacom Cintiq companion. No, I'm not sponsored. So there's a bit of delay from that device to this device. And yeah. In addition to whatever delay would be between the chat. But anyway, that's it. So the screen may be a little behind what I'm maybe saying about it. Okay. Cheers. Oh, that was a short bevometer. So why do I blame Michael Kinney? I'm joking, of course. It's only me to blame for not being finished. But yeah, I was sitting down to work on this, and he texted me like late at night. I got a late start, and then he said something about King Crimson. It was like, I recall seeing King Crimson in Austria, the border of Austria and Italy in 1992. And I was on, nope. They didn't exist in 1990. And then he was like, yeah, me and my professor, we were at the Olympic Stadium, and then he showed it to me like on the Google Maps. It was here, and we went up, and the band was setting up, and we heard them talking English, so we went up there, and the guy, whoever the guy was, seemed annoyed. So we don't know if it was a band member or a roadie crew, whatever. No, he was 21 at the time, so. And I was like, they broke up in '84 and then formed a new lineup that didn't do any show. They put out an EP in 1994, and then they toured in 1995. And so then I'm like Googling, trying to figure out, because I'm interested. I can't just blow off what he said. He's like, no, this, he asked the guy, who's this band setting up? The guy said, King Crimson. Or if they asked him in Italian or whatever. So, didn't solve the mystery. So anyway, I can't say I went down a rabbit hole, but I did some Googling and all that, and I'm just kind of like, I said, alright, screw this. This is another thing distracting me from my drawing. And then it was like almost 1 a.m. or something. So, I never quite. That's weird. These key commands, I still always do them wrong. It's almost like plugging in a USB A. Yeah, it's exactly like that. Like you plug it in once, oh, it's upside down, shoot, okay, and then you turn it, you plug it, oh, it still won't go in, and then you turn it again, oh, now it goes in. Like, wait, what? What the? That's like me with the command X and C. You can toggle back and forth between two colors. Toggle back and forth between a color and transparent, or toggle back between the foreground and background color. And I always press the wrong F button. So. This is a tilt thing. When you go to make feathering and the tips round, what is that? Anyway. Something just keeps me from finishing this. I know it's me. I say something. Thought maybe I'd get it done today, and then all of a sudden I got swamped with day job work. Like a big deluge of orders just like rained down upon me. Which is fine. That's what my day job time is for. gotcha. It's alright.
Yeah, yeah.
To revise this. Buried alive, buried alive. Copyright strike. Can you see my boy back here? Look at that. Oh, you see that foot? His feet are in my sleeping area. What the? I'm glad he went to sleep, and then I gotta throw him out of the way when I go. Alexa, dresser light red. Viewership 0. Viewership 0. Yeah, I'm looking at Instagram. That's right. I'm seeing just nothing. Like I ran out of stuff, and it's just filling it in with stuff I think's I want to see, but I don't really. But I don't agree with what it wants me to see. I'm afraid to let go of this thing. What? What? Well, no one's watching, but if someone does in the future, I want to give a shout out to Pulp Fiction Long Beach, the comic book store called Pulp Fiction Long Beach. And the owner, Ryan Skinner, no relation to the great Bay Area artist Skinner, but I would give a shout out to him too, because he does have a relevant role in all of this that I may be speaking of. But I'd like to thank Ryan for supporting local artists, local creators, and having a local creators section in his store. And I've sold probably 4 I haven't kept a tab, but I've definitely sold at the least 3 of my 3D posters there, and sold them a couple more today to put on the shelf. I think I sold 5, but meaning that he's sold 5, but maybe it's just 3. But still, it's cool that when one sells, he'll buy another one to replace it. And why not? It makes money each one, so. I appreciate it, what he does. Then he bought a supply of Ink and Drink Long Beach's most recent group project, Sewer Boys 2. He's got plenty of issues in stock on the shelf there. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful on the local shelf. It looks beautiful on the impulse buy at the counter shelf. Very cool. And he also re-upped his stock of Sewer Boys 1, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book remix. So, to promote the Sewer Boys 2 comic book remix book, the Kickstarter was very successful, and now the book is just available to order from the individual artist, or you can pick one up at Pulp Fiction Long Beach. And some of the artists who are involved in the book will be doing a signing event at Pulp Fiction Long Beach comic book store. It's on a Saturday in September. I believe it's September 20th. And the specific artists are going to be are being organized right now. Some of us, I think it's probably, some of us will have table space and be like vending, sitting at a table doing signing, sketching, and whatnot. And there's, of course, limited table space for that, but I think a lot of the artists might just be hanging out, walking around. They may not be set up at a table, but they'll be around, and I'm sure if you go there and get the book and you want to have as many people, it's going to be impossible to have everybody sign it, because some of the artists are, it's a global project. It's not just Long Beach local artists. So you know, probably not going to get Shikabane in the Canary Islands to sign it, or Quarktacular, who's in Dublin. He's in Ireland somewhere. For example, but a lot of them will be there, just walking around. So even though you just see a certain amount of people, set up at the tables, if you want to get your book signed, ask any of the artists, say who else is here on this, and I'm sure any one of us will be like, oh, get him, let's call him over, or whatever, you know what I mean? Call all the artists over, because they'll be amongst the dudes hanging out, Which, I don't know, that seems kind of cool to me. Yep, I keep doing this. Keep hitting X instead of C. I don't feel like I'd be any better if I had one of those toolbox things on the side, if I would be any more, deft. Deft? Is that the word? Deft, nimble, and accurate. How long have I been on here? Looks like nothing got done. So yeah, I gotta ink this last panel, because you can call this a panel. And then I gotta do the tones. This background is gonna be just a gradient tone. I don't know. See, I could have a tone. Let's see. Probably gonna take a while to react, but look at this guy. This background tone. For this guy saying, "Oh." What's his name? Pilgrim. It's not Scott Pilgrim. Somebody Pilgrim. Captain Pilgrim. We'll call him Pilgrim. Yeah, this, see if my cursor shows up. No. No. Well, here's his head. Here's circle his head. Nope, can't do that. Wow, that was bad. Okay. There's his head. I'll circle it. Whoop. Okay. I have the tones in a radial gradient where it's not really spotlighting his face, but it's very subtly spotlighting his figure. I don't know how well that comes across. And of course, this lady, I know her proportions are weird, but I kind of don't care. I kind of don't care. Some things I'm just letting go. Sometimes I find when I really get all the, I agonize over getting all the proportions right, then I kind of lose my the dynamics of the pose or whatever. So it's the best way I can articulate it. So I'm not really gonna fix her proportions. Maybe I'm right. I could be right, I could be wrong. It could be a dong. I could be a dong. Could be a right-wing dong. Alright. What else? So here, I'll get rid of these pencils. We got Pilgrim here, wet coming out of the water. So we got dripping wet, but also with surprise, like what the F? The sweat, the kind of the traditional cartoony sweat spray. What do you call that? When someone's like surprised or stressed out or whatever. But he's also all wet, so it it fits there. And he's like, what the F? Because suddenly this beast that was chasing him, the woman is being affectionately showing it affection, and it's not hurting her, it's just eating this fish. And then old man reasonable this time, hey man, chill out man. You made it to hippie planet, man. Yeah. Yeah. That looks weird. That looks really weird. Okay, I'm coloring this in the gray. Okay, just over time of combining layers and things like that, you'll have a layer that was... Generally, I do these layers in a gray like this, and I'll pick like this, like a 50% gray. Even though when you go back to look at it, it's converted it to RGB, and then it's showing it in CMYK, in fake ass CMYK values that are all over them. all over the freaking place. That's so all that pisses me off on multiple levels. But anyway, so over the history of working on this file and these layers, sometimes you will combine layers or merge down or whatever it is, and if you're not careful, ideally I would retain the art, all artwork in such layers as these gray values, and then I just set the tone, convert it to, like I'm going to do right now. This is a little button up here, and convert it to the tones. But you see there, I had done tones in different layers and combined them in various states, I guess. And so, some of it, even when I toggle off the tone, let's see, the tone effect button here, they still appear as tones. It's like they had rendered, like the tones had rendered, yeah, had rendered, which I don't, anyway, so looking at that, her face, her eyeshadow from a distance, I could see like kind of places where the tones were breaking up. And when you toggle that off, when you toggle that effect, layer property, effect, tone button off, and so you can see it as gray, like solid gray tone areas, it's much easier to see the holes in the bucket, dear Liza. God, it feels like I haven't done anything. But there's all these little things that I tweak on it to make it, try to make it right. Little things I see that bother me. And that's all really part of it. Those are things that when it came out, I'll go, God, why didn't I change that one? So, anyway. Alright. So the tones in this panel, it's like I kind of want to emphasize his head. He's got these sweat drops. But do I want to have a gradient from top to bottom, like dark at top going light down? Or do I want a circular around this old man's face? I don't know. I think I should just do up and down. Don't wanna go up and down. Wanna go out. Oh, someone tuned in and tuned out. It's like, this is whack. Gosh. It's just me talking to myself. But if you join in, okay. Be right back. Gonna empty out and refill, as they say. Did you hear that? Right when I appeared again and unmuted the mic, somebody in the room ripped a couple farts. Hopefully that's immortalized in this video. Alright. What are we doing here? Oh my god! Look where I stopped. I paused on this cleavage, dude. I didn't mean to pause on this cleavage, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. What's Aqua Caliente? How would I... Does anybody know what Aqua Caliente is? Aqua Caliente Resort. Yeah, I'm looking at Instagram, procrastinating. I know you don't, you would never do that. You would never do such a thing. If you were way past a deadline, you'd be looking at freaking Instagram. Not you, only me. Only losers like me do that. And I'm looking at this thing. What is this? This looks like... Oh, someone posted something from... like when, you know, Warren magazine, Eerie or something. Very cool. And I did, when I went to Pulp Fiction Long Beach today, they did have a nice trade paperback of compiling a bunch of the 70s or 60s. I think it's early 70s, but maybe it was late 60s, but I always thought it was 70s, early 70s, but Vampirella, black and white comics reprinting from the Warren magazine. And I opened it, I picked it up, and I'm like, I'm not buying this on principle. F this is pissing me off. Because it was trade paperback, comic book, like standard comic book size, meaning the height and width were standard American comic book size. But the artwork inside, the original artwork was published magazine proportions, different proportions. So if you buy this, it's shrunk smaller and has a giant white margin on the top and the bottom. You screw that. So if they had a trade paperback of that was the correct proportions, wasn't shrunk down and you know, round, you know, whatever, some square peg situation. Probably would have bought it. But I really freaking I hate it. No excuse. To be effing up the proportions. Of the book. And I did, because I already did. it's like I don't know if I ever owned. It's like I have to dig and go to my mom's house and dig in my old comic collection boxes, and see if I ever had the Frank Miller book, the big guy, like Ricky Robot and the Big Guy, or something like that. He did it kind of trying to do a kind of Japanese giant robot boy story kind of deal. What the heck? What was it? What is that? Oh my god, what the hell? What is that? How do I... What the... This is what I'm talking about with the tilt. Doing it. Another thing I don't have command of. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I bought... I don't know, I might have rebought Hard Boiled too, which I think was... I think both of those, or one of those, maybe it was the Hard Boiled one that I... One or both of those was original. Well, Hard Boiled was definitely printed at magazine proportions, or 8.5 by 11, not narrow comic book. And this reprint of it was printed like your standard comic book trade paperback. So American comic book proportions, but obviously thicker because it's a trade paperback. What am I looking at? Jesus. And later I was just kind of bummed that I did, and bummed on myself, because I'm like, this isn't the right proportion of the book. You wanted to resell this book, it should be as good or better. It shouldn't be, it would have been better if they had printed it at that kind of, what they've been doing recently with these kind of manga size, proportion books, these kind of mini books. Like, I don't know, it's just a pet peeve of mine. Because everyone with their first comic goes through this. They draw a comic and then like, oh wow, I could actually have this printed. And then they have to make it fit into like my friend Paul, he drew a comic and he didn't think about, oh, this is going to be printed, what size am I going to have this printed at, what are the measurements, to rule out my pages. He just took the paper he had, which was like 14 by 17, and just drew it. I mean, he had a margin around the sides and had panels, but he just imagined that, well, I got this paper and it's Bristol board, and that's what the pros use, Bristol board. And just started drawing, and drew his kind of magnum opus, which, which is basically like a 4-issue maxi pad series, mini series, panty shield series. And then when we went to print it, it was there wasn't any option to print it at those proportions. We're like, oh, this is not comic size, it's way too wide. And then we went to do the like magazine size, which I don't know about. It was at Quibicor Printing, who printed all the Marvel and DC stuff at that time in the mid '90s. And even on that, which is wider, it's a wider compared to a comic. It's got the proportions are, it's a little wider width on it. It's bigger overall, but then it's wider also. And even on that, his artwork was too wide, and it's still when we centered it, it had a big white margin on the top and a white margin on the bottom. Almost like he had drawn his comic almost square proportions. Like, I wonder if square proportions was an option, like some of those books that are like the size of an album cover, 12 by 12, or like I wonder, I don't have time to run such experiments, and I'm the only one who is interested in it, so it won't happen. But I'm saying that printing your book in the wrong proportions is like my first comic. And that's the mistake where you go, oh, I need to learn some of the shit, pay attention to some of the stuff. Or, or my comics are going to come out effed up. And I can't even blame anybody with an honest, So anyway, yeah, books coming out like that, I just piss me off. From a big publisher who's got license to legendary publisher stuff, and then it's like, it's just some 20-something guy, like, in charge of playing with the big toys, Clip that. To my bullies. Just kidding. Well, which will be more damaging to me, to clip my video to make fun of me, or ignore it altogether? So from time to time on these streams and elsewhere, I'll mention, I will make a reference to the legions, my legions, like my legions of fans. And it's not, I would like to explain that has its root in something a friend said to me and my, to me and my other friend bandmate who he'd known. He had come to see, he knew us long ago, and then he had come to see our kind of new band, and he had recorded our old band. And he was a nice guy, like he kind of got, he didn't get all the respect he deserved just because he was a little bit nerdy, a little bit kind of dorky. And then he had kids real early. So in that world, you can be dorky, and then you can somehow get in a cool band, and then transcend that dorkiness. But he didn't really get that chance. Anyway, he came later, and he showed up, and he saw us. We saw him randomly. I was like, dude, you guys are amazing. And he goes, he's like, I'm gonna tell everyone about you guys. He said, I'm gonna get you. He said, I'm gonna get you guys legion. I'm gonna get you guys legions of fans. I love that he was stoked on us. And his enthusiasm, but we were just like, it was funny because it just seemed like a metal, like a remnants of an 80s metal kind of mentality, like legions of fans. But we also knew there's no way he could really do it. Well, it's kind of like when you have when you're young and you have a female friend, and it's like when they say, oh, I'm going to hook you up with Mass chicks, or I'm going to hook you up with all my friends, or something, they say such kind of proclamations like, nope, it doesn't actually happen. Just so when I say my legions of fans, it's not from a point of bitterness. It's like, I think it's to me, it's like I understand the word, it's the kind of the reality of just doing art or music. You realize, you often throughout your day, like, oh, no one gives a shit about this, and that's, you should come to terms with it. Yeah, no one gives a rat's ass. What are you gonna do now? Are you doing it just to, for the accolades, or you know? So I don't. I'm not doing it from a bitter point of view. I just like referencing. I just remember when that friend said that. I'm gonna get you guys. I'm gonna get you guys legions of fans. It's just a funny memory. So I apply it to doing music or comics and all that. Because there is no, you know, and there are people that are like, study the techniques of the, you know, becoming a YouTube sensation, getting however many subscribers on your channel and all that. I don't give a shit about that. I don't want to do any of that kind of harvesting. Like if I watch a YouTube stream, it's usually of a really good effing artist. I want to see them making some rad art, and then I probably respect what they have to say about it. There's some young dude who's just like self-proclaimed expert on whatever. Oh shit. Just fuck this up. Some dude was born yesterday and is like, I'm an expert on comics history. Analyzing, and it's like, your art is shit. Why would I? And then they use techniques like the you know, the clickbaity video titles, and just you know, like, I'd rather watch someone who but then I don't watch a lot of them. But I highly recommend Erwin Papa. It's one artist who streams regularly, and I would highly recommend watching his, because he's a genius. His art's amazing, and then he'll walk you through what he's doing and his decisions and all that, and how the approach to laying out the pit. You know, it's pretty educational if you know. yeah, is and there are others, but I'm just going to take an example of like Irwin's stream because you're watching him draw. And he's talking about it, and there's nothing he can bullshit about because you're seeing him draw it and explain through it, and you can't really, you know, you can't really bullshit through that. When I was in art school, went to Cal State, Long Beach, and that's where I got my art degree. Which, of course, doesn't really mean anything. I mean, I'm proud that I got through college and I got a degree, but it really didn't. Most successful artist as far as making a living on art today. No, from those days. He just started taking life life drawing over and over again, and he wasn't taking any, like, he wasn't adhering to any program as far as what classes to take, like, oh, you got to take this prerequisite here to get this, and then you'll didn't get in any, like, he didn't have a goal to, get in the illustration program and then graduate with it. He was kind of smarter and all that. I think he just listened to other professional artists, and all they said was, the mantra was, take more life drawing, do as much life drawing as possible, life drawing. Don't draw from photographs, just do that as much as you can. And he was doing that, and then it was like, but before that, he came into a lot of money with an inheritance, possibly selling a house and a nice, for pretty penny, and then decided, hey, I'm gonna start an indie. I want to, start an indie comics company. I'm gonna put out your I'm gonna put out my comic, put out your comic. Do you have something? Because and that's how Potato Mummy got into print. And but he learned real quick. It's like, yeah, oh yeah, this is how you do all this work on a comic. You do so much work on a comic, and then spend all this money getting it printed, and you go down to San Diego for a whole weekend, and people just passing by your booth all weekend. But more than that, more than just I think he just learned talking to people and all that. Learned the same thing like Jack Kirby learned. You know, it's like, yeah, there's no way to make money in comics. The only people, he said, the only guys I ever met that were able to do comics full time were these guys who had a wife who was the breadwinner. Like the wife had some career and just they were able to be a house husband or whatever. Anyway, that he seemed to learn real quick, and then it's like he put out all these comics and all that, and ladies and gentlemen, Sir Irwin Apapa has I'm too busy being the town drunk to just. I was in the middle of a very important history lesson. Motherfucker. Oh no, the algorithm. But he learned real quick. Like, he loved comics. He did 3 issues. He did his series. He paid for Potato Mummy for me and Eric, and Paul Scherrar's 4-issue magnum opus. I think he even did a few more, like 2 or 3 issues of Clock by. But he learned real quick, like, yeah, there's no money in comics. That was fun, but he's like, animation is where it's at. And then he switched his gears to towards animation, and he like making some animation portfolio, applying at places, willing to relocate to Canada if necessary. And then he ended up at Klasky Chupo, which did the cartoon called Rugrats, and yeah, he kind of networked with a few other dudes, Robert Gooden and Anthony Yukovic. And got in there, and he just did really well. Ended up doing directing and writing and all various jobs in that, and it's had a career in it. Of course, right now there's like a drought in animation, and he said all his, but he had decades of being able to afford a mortgage, an apartment for himself, and a mortgage for his ex-wife's house. He eventually got back together with her, which is very good. Very good for them and their son. But yeah, I mean, that was Jack Kirby's thing, is like, he got ripped off so bad in comics. I'm not saying we get ripped off, like people like us, we just you gotta have some big breakout hit or something to make a living off it. So yeah, we just do it for the love of doing it. I could say, yeah, that's a whole other story. Hey, Philip. Well, I don't know who's still here. Did I say hi to Philip too late? I don't know. But, ladies and gentlemen, Philip McVan and Irwin Papa stopping in. Legends. Very talented artists and intelligent men. I toast. A toast to you. So okay, so if that's you, Philip. All right. So yeah, I'm streaming. I got lag within lag. Okay, so I'm because I got my Wacom SimTeak companion. That's what I prefer to work when I'm working in Clip Studio Paint. That's what I prefer to use. This old. It's getting old now, and that's streaming via OBS to my desktop computer, and that OBS is streaming to YouTube. So the drawing and what I'm talking about and what's on my main screen there with the drawing is like way off, way the main screen is way behind, and that is why. But so page 2, you've seen page 1. Page 1's been done for a while, and yeah, it looks like I'm inking the last panel, but I still got it, and then I still have to go do the tones, and then this is why I'm not sure I'll finish it tonight, is this is it showing there yet? I'm looking at my real screen, my OBS, and then I'm looking at the YouTube thing, and it still hasn't caught up here. But anyway, I'll just try to talk in real time. I guess everything will work out. This guy diving, there's this panel, and I know the panel borders are unclear, and maybe the movement between panels is not going to be clear, but I think people are going to figure it out. I think I've done the best with what it is, and everyone might go like, whoa, whoa, what? But if they really feel like reading it and following it, they'll figure it out. But this guy diving, I know this perspective is off. He's diving from the beach. He's running into the water and then diving in the water. So he's not diving into a lake or whatever. So whatever, it works. I got the mysterious silhouettes, and then I don't care that there's a lot of bending of perspective and all that, and proportions of people, and I understand where it's the places where it's all effed up, and some of it, I just, if it works visually, I'm just gonna leave it. But yeah, I got this sploosh here, and I think the lines of the water around where I have this blue funty waves and rubber ducky uh, penciled in here, that I haven't worked out yet, and it's like, oh, I should really should like look up. Any suggestions on, first of all, looking at what the F I'm doing? Don't say, yes, Sam Keith or like something, come on. You know what I'm saying? Do I need to complete a sentence? No. I before I feel like I'm going to start doing lines on this in this water, and it's just going to look stupid, and I'm going to get really depressed, and then realize it's 1 a.m. and then stop and then not finish. But I'm also, I don't, going and looking at other artists and just trying to go down some rabbit hole finding inspiration on how to kind of make these water lines. That's another thing. Like, oh god, like, oh, you look at these things and you're like, oh, my whole approach to this is right. And I don't want to get down any neurotic, because of how I am, get all neurotic and depressed about it. But when did he leave? I didn't even know he left. Okay. Sorry, my boy was asleep in my bed behind me for a long time. I didn't notice he got up. But yeah, I need to know if you got any suggestions on who I can look at, what I can artist comment, something online I can look at for inspiration as far as drawing this water. It's supposed to be shallow water. The beach is to the left. He's running into the beach water, and then yeah, I just want to keep some simple kind of lines, acknowledging the splash, but then the tide would be moving to the left, and it's not raging waves, it's just kind of a chill beach water. The thing that I was saving for last was like doing this spaceship in the background, which is, none of it's perfect, but believe me, I could tear apart every little bit of this and just be like, oh, this is garbage, and I gotta start over. Like this ball, here, whatever these are, fuel tanks or whatever the F they are. Like, should this be behind? Is this supposed to be behind like this? I don't know. Just gonna have to, you just gotta make these decisions, these suspension of disbelief things. Anyway, Philip, I don't know if you're still there, but it looks fantastic. I appreciate you saying that. And whoever you guys are here at, Pulp Fiction, Long Beach, the store. They got their, I guess, Irwin got in all the books, and I guess Castro delivered them, something like that. And he's got them. He's got Sewer Boys 2, 1 and 2 on the rack in the local section, but then he's got them. He might have both of them, but it definitely has Sewer Boys 2 at in front of the counter, like where he puts, like, don't sleep on this book, impulse buy. Just when you walk up to the counter, it's underneath, right under the counter, like, hey, before you before you check out. Don't sleep on this book, kind of deal. So that's cool. And someone else bought one of my 3D posters there. I think it was the skater guy who's been at Ink and Drink a few times. Rob, I don't know if you're not watching, but Rob, thank you. And he bought 2 more. So I do like showing up when I go there on Wednesday when Ryan is actually there. Ryan, the owner. Alright, who's still watching? Are you working on anything? My lone viewer. You can remain anonymous. It's cool. I understand. I promise I won't bully you though. Not on purpose anyway. That's weird. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. I don't want to do that either. Okay. All right. Well, oh, maybe I should save. Save once in a while. Ahoy, Ahoy, lone viewer. Are you working on any artwork? I'm sure you're not working on something for Mass Cybernetics, because I must be the last straggler. Now, hopefully I'm the last straggler. I do not wish more stragglers upon Jason and Philip. Whoa! Nelly! Nelly. What the hell? What the wow? What the wow? What the wow? What the wow? What the hell, Barry? Whoa! What the hell, Barry? Oh, it's locked. That's right. What the hell? What the hell, Barry? What the hell, Barry? definitely called me Bobby when I was a kid. Alright. I'm going to roughly mask off an area here. F that up. One, two, wait, what did it just do? It did a weird jump thing. All right. Why are you locked too? Are you hung up? Are you strung up? Are you hung up? Are we rolling? What shape? Oh, this shape. That or this? I don't know. What should I do? Alright, should I do circular? Or what's this? Ellipse? Okay, this is gonna be weird. Oh, no, it's actually... What if I went like that? That's weird, right? I don't know, the circular... Alright. It's got a side, mate. So let's go. Let's turn this off. What if I go like this? That does not. What if I go like this? Shite. No. No. Shite. Shite. Man, the Cintiq screen is so hot. What if I unplug this? Maybe that would help? Well, yeah, another thing that came up was I was hired to do. Oh, shite. Oh, nay. Oh, that's bad. Okay, this is bad. Here's a challenge. I overlapped some of my tones. So I'm going to need to, let's see. G. Okay, so paint bucket, make sure, apply it. Okay. Oop. Nope. Very little tolerance. Okay, watch this. Okay, did we save? Did we save? Did we save lives? Okay. No, that's weird. Okay, let's, how do I get back? Okay. Alright. We avoided a little disaster. Okay, here's this. And this. Okay, there we go. No. What about here? No. Alright, this is effed up right here. Okay, so we're doing gradient, so I can't just do that swatch. I have to sample everything I want to correct. I'm going to have to sample near it. Okay. I'm going to have to sample an area near it because I'm shite. I'm not playing with these tones, Holmes. I'm not playing with these tones, Holmes. I'm also not playing with no analog tones. Are those real after? Oh, okay, well, that's cool. Did you draw that by hand? Or is that? Oh, okay. I keep getting that from the old friends of mine. Old friends of mine that I try to show my art to. Is that? Did you draw that by hand, or is that like computer? I'm like, yeah, it's all digital. Oh. I mean, I understand the appeal of the tactile art, but can you do this? Alright. Did I do this right? Like that. Some weird areas. Toned areas. Don't need to be? Okay. Alright, let's not get... Turn that off. Up the opacity. Let's turn this to tones. 35. I'm doing this. My print documents here are at print size, which is huge, and 600 dpi. And given that, my halftone dot frequency is 35, like 35 LPI, or lines per inch. That is the halftone dot frequency that I think works, where you will look at this and you'll see big fat, satisfyingly big fat halftone dots that are not too huge and silly and gimmicky, and because of a size that will read as shading from a distance. So hopefully I've got the right settings for what we're gonna see in print here. Okay. Wait, this is all light. Okay, so that's a weird area right there. It should be dark in there, right? I'm gonna need to. Shouldn't have erased that pencil. Oh well. Regrets. I've had a few. pretty solid right here. I kind of want to go like this because I want him to pop off. I don't really like putting just like a halo thing, but oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay. My one mystery viewer. Okay, I'm gonna move around a little bit here. You'll figure out the flow because you're smart. We only the finest readers. Oh, look at that. Shite, what? Oh, God. Yeah, that's the C and the X command. I just... Oh, God, look at all the stuff I missed. See, all this stuff would come out in the comment. Don't sweat the details, man. No. Sweat the fucking details. The people say don't sweat the details because they just leave it to some asshole and some dude like me and who works in pre-press. Yeah, they'll fix that shit. They'll fix that stuff in post. Don't sweat the details. But no one's gonna fix the shit. Look at that. See that? I almost moved on to drawing waves. Oh, look at that. I effed up that. Okay, so this, watch this. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off and watch, and then I'm gonna have to sample right here, and then just do that same color here. It's probably the same here, but I'm going to do it again. Sample that. Alright, go back to the tones. Two-tone. My ska comic. This is my ska comic. Oh, and here our protagonist is eating ass. Oh no, now I've been knocked. My viewership has been knocked. Uh-oh, there's no lines down here. Well, look what I gotta do now. Okay, where was this? This here? Here? This here? Okay, and what was this? I think this was probably 75. See, every time I go to this, it's supposed to be just a value of gray, but no. Everything's in RGB in Clip Studio Paint. Don't effing kid yourself. I set this color as a gray in the CMYK sliders as 50 or 75% K and 0 and everything else. It doesn't care. It converts it to RGB anyway. You reopen it and sample it. It shows it in RGB, and therefore in like a bunch of the CMYK values are all over the map, approximating the color. So yeah, don't color your comics in Clip Studio Paint, because even if it tells you you're working in CMYK, you're working in RGB. Okay. And I mean here, okay, let's open up this. Let's see here. Open up this. I have a ruler in here to see if I have the correct ruler in place. Nope. Wait. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. Okay. I think I did this at like 1.2. Okay, let's see. Okay, how about that? How about that? It's kind of weird, isn't it? Let's do a couple of those. C, not X, and erase. Shut right here. What the Christ? Layers. Turn the halftone off. Doing this. Yeah. Do subtle. Okay. Now what is this? Can I combine these now? Look at that. Look at all those halftones. And then look at this other layer of halftones underneath. I'm going to combine them. What do you think? I'm going to move this up. I'm going to merge this with the layer below. save? How about save and then do it? Did I say this out loud or was I just thinking it? I actually did finish the print files for Heel Turn 3 by Mike Ha, published by Last Bastion Studios. I'm working for Wes from Wes Allard from Last Bastion Studios, and I have been in contact with Mike Ha, and there's a way I did it I thought was best. Mike Ha had a lot of thoughts on it. Some of them that didn't translate clearly into clear cut changes, but I did redo the whole thing based on a 2.5-hour conversation with Mike, who is in South Korea. That was interesting. Yeah, very interesting. It's interesting to see all the big variety of personalities and all these artists.
It's a trip.
But based on that conversation, and hopefully my revisions are they get back a book that makes that Mike is pleased with, and he doesn't break a folding chair over my head, and that Wes is happy with, and that I'm happy with as well. But the Kickstarter ended before that, and I was working on this project, and there was a couple things up in the air. So he said that I did not blow it, but I think he wanted to get them printed back in time for a big convention. And I guess I don't know if they'll be back and ready for that, but once I got word on a couple things, I just went for it and finished it up. So yeah, I still feel some responsibility that it not going out. But it's complicated because Wes is very busy. He's on the road a lot, doing all his shows and all this stuff, and so there's no telling if I hit. Anyway, unless any big corrections come back to me, that's done. Hopefully the book comes out to everyone's satisfaction. And yeah, when I'm done with this, so Erwin mentioned the term panel. You're in panel hell. Maybe it's sequence hell, because this is all. Well, I'm looking at this. There's not clear-cut panels here, but it's sequential art. Maybe it's sequential art hell or sequence hell. All right, but I still have a list of things that I need to do or should do, or this and that, or people want me to do. But I would like to finish this when I deliver this, and if Heel Turn gets set to print, then I just want to go see Fantastic Four in the theater and build at least one Gundam model. Okay, so what was I going to do here? This is grayscale. This is grayscale. I'm going to move this up. I'm going to merge with the layer below. It's going to take a minute. Okay, cut my ruler. This ruler I'm going to hide. Show ruler. And this is grayscale, but let's do that. And also set it to multiply. There we go. Or I could put it underneath. And this should be set to multiply too, right? This should be monochrome. This is my inks. Where we go? Yeah, this should say inks. Okay, now that's pretty. The top layer is the lettering, which is actually a PNG overlay. But yeah, I did it as vector in Illustrator, but when I export it as a PNG, it let me do it at 600 DPI with kind of the transparency. And I dropped it in here, and it's perfect. So, hats off to PNG! Care of the devil! PNG! But damn. This fish, I was gonna do some Roger Dean-esque patterns on its back, and then I was like, no, that's gonna clutter and muddy it. So, I'll retain kind of a focal point. Okay, so now, what? So now, look at how glitchy this looks. It's just showing this chick's boobs, and it's like watching scrambled porn. Oh wait, there's a pixelated boob. 2 of them. Still not catching up to my screen here, but oh well. Now I gotta fill in this water here, and not sure how to approach it, so we'll take another quick break. Another quick break. Now why is this delayed? Even my keyboard is delayed just to type in the chat? In the chat? God. Just to type BRB, it took that whole time to type BRB. Alright. Time to empty and reload, and probably going to come back and look at some. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole, but I'm going to look at some reference for probably comic book reference for some simplified water lines outside this Splash. Alright, I'm back, kinda. Go pee. Pour your last drink. Realize your streaming PC is delayed when you try to do a Google search, so I'm going to do it on this other computer. And then your pretty kitty is on the bed and wants to go through the funtal tuntal about 200 times, so things have to be done. Okay, so let's see, comic page. Yeah, and I'm kind of back because I'm like gonna look at a bunch of garbage on a bunch of shite. Trying to do a search for some beach water, shallow water, simple. Everything I look at and make it look so easy. Same. All these images are going to the same stupid actual comic. Ooh. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. I used to watch that show. Star Trek underwater, basically. Oh. Tiny ass thumbnails. Alright, well, I'm just gonna have to sketch a doodle doo. That's deep sea. Just looking at some water images. Oh, ooh, look at that. Okay, when it's close to an object, they kind of round up. Alright, I'm just going to have to start. Make a new layer. Okay, now I need to save. Save a new document. Anybody watching? Somebody's got it on in the background. 11? The 11th version? That's redonkuloid. That's really quite redonkuloid, if I do say so myself. Should we do it blue? I'm gonna move it down here. The old pencils are... I don't need them anymore. Okay, look. Look at it. So delete. Simplify. So I want to kind of have some reference to where this is the each here. What if I got crazy with this? Yeah, I'm just experimenting here. Oh, my brother's birthday. Yeah, I'm looking at Instagram. me. What the fuck? Cintiq screen is so hot right now. It's so hot right now. Oh my god. It's so hot right now. No, I mean literally. Literally. Is this high enough resolution where you can see dead skin falling from my eyebrow? Evil that Mando lives on and on. The evil that Mando lives on and on. The evil, the evil. Yeah, why am I doing these details before I'm even sure the approach this even works? That's part of my neurotics. You know? It's part of the problem here. Is in life out there? Is in life out there? Still there. Okay, let's. You know, I could do this whole, all this stuff, like, two-tone, but no. I'm not. For sure, you're not. All right. Okay, let's do this. It's gonna be 50. Oh, look, it stayed. I can't believe it. 50%. This is what most of our and waves. GG and still. Apply to connected? No.
Screw it, dude.
Alright, so leave it on gray till 11. Just see. Okay. No. No. Stop. 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 Sequence hell. What have I got next? Well, I do have to send this to the writer, Mark Sherrar. Whoever is watching here may have heard of Paul Sherrar, but Paul Sherrar has 3 brothers. Now, if you come across a song by the band One Eye Open, they have a song called Paul Sherrar. It's kind of the poppiest punk song they ever did. So Paul likes pop, so it was the closest they could get. And the chorus says, "Do you think you're Paul Sherrar? There's only one Sherrar. There's only one Sherrar. You think you're Paul Sherrar?" Yeah, good song, great band. My favorite local band of all time. But of course, when his twin brother Matt heard the song, he goes, "There's only one Sherrar." But meanwhile, Paul has a twin brother named Matt who lives in Idaho. He's written he's written a couple books and a couple comic stories. And then they have an older brother, Mark Sherrar, who is my age, 26. And he wrote the script for this comic I'm drawing right now. And he also wrote the script for Ponum. No, it's not Ponum. Ponum the Barbarians, the name of the character. It was called King Conanism. Which is kind of a confusing title, but if you break it down, onanism is like I don't know if it's a masturbatory or orgasm or something. King Conan, King Onanism. But yep, he wrote the script for that one too, and he was like, "Man, you need to do more comics like that. You executed that script perfectly, like I couldn't have imagined." He was very pleased because he doesn't write a lot of comics, but he reads and collects more comics than any other collector that I know. So I know he's always had the dream to write comics, but it's it's just not not a realistic way to raise a family, unless you really get a blockbuster hit that gets optioned Netflix or something, But anyway. But I'm glad he hasn't given up entirely, because now he's like, he was doing a little with his brother to help, help out edit some scripts and stuff. And he kind of dropped out of that. But somehow he was motivated to write the mummy script. He was very happy with how I executed it, and it's just like, man, you need to do more comics. And just talk to me about writing something that I would be happy to draw and he'd be happy to write, and maybe we can do some stuff. And then this newspaper project came along. I was like, why don't we do it in here, and then it'll be a limited number of pages, but it'll definitely get it fits the format of this thing. This thing will have a bit of a built-in audience, and we'll get a lot of promotion from all the artists involved. It was kind of perfect. Kind of thinking of some titles and a sci-fi thing. He wanted to call this thing Escape Velocity, but then also wanted to call it Dirt 69. And I was like, well, maybe Escape Velocity can be the dream comic series, like heavy metal, Escape Velocity. I mean, it's a rocketry term, I think. But then, you read comics, you're escaping, you're an escapist. You're escaping the horrors of your normal life by reading some fantasy. And that was pretty cool. So I made a logo for it as if it were going to be some magazine spin-off of Epic Illustrated or something from that time, late 70s, early 80s. Okay, right here I'm going to do airbrush deal. How big is my airbrush? How deep is your level? How big is my airbrush? thin these out a little. I'm doing an airbrush clear. These tones, okay, so I'm seeing some stuff that needs to be hard cleared out, but splooge! I mean splooge! Yeah, I was looking at Instagram and Discord. Alright. Does this even look any good? I was like putting all this work in this and like I kinda like it. Get back to airbrush, do a little here, a little here, a little here. This is how I do my chains. My chains. Do you like half chains? This is how I do it. My half chains. Do you like half chains? Can I be done? Can I be done? Does this mean I'm done? Does this mean I'm done, babe? Okay. I may be done. Hurry up. Alright, so somebody's watching. Somebody left this on accidentally on the device and put it down. So I'll continue to talk as if. So this logo down here in the corner is like what I was saying. If Mark and I continue to do other stories, I like that escape velocity name, so right now I think like all these things can be under the umbrella of something called escape velocity. And that would be our version of, epic illustrated or heavy metal. And, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, that's okay. That's the wrong. This layer of halftones needs to be 35, like all the others. There we go. Okay. Okay. Well, this is what I did tonight. Okay, I'll finish this. I gotta get off of here by 1, but this panel here, I hope that reads. I need to do, okay. I need to do some more. I was going to show what I've done, but if I see something I missed, I just need to start doing it right. Because otherwise, I'll forget. Those drips could be bigger, but I don't want to make them comically huge. Yeah, not drawing any background here, just the, I don't want to clutter. Let's hope this makes sense. What do you think of this water? Okay. It's just halftones. It's kind of a effect, kind of gimmicky. Got the silhouettes and then just purely halftone. And then he's inky, swimming. So I don't know. I like it. I think it's a good. Right now I do. Right now I think I like it. So let us. Oh, maybe I should hit save. Alright, so right now I guess I'm gonna I keep doing these life-size test prints just so I can, just hold it up and look at it like the real deal. So, and I keep replacing them and taping them to the left part of the spread, the page one, has been done for a while. So I think I'm gonna save it. I need to export it. Flat. There's a flattened TIFF. Flattened bitmap TIFF. Bitmap. Because there's no gray tones. Let's zoom in. Everything is black or white. It's binary. It's no. So this will just be black and transparent, or black and white. And hopefully it doesn't get converted to RGB, CMYK, or anything at any point between me and the print heads, because I don't want the black in this to have any CMY value. Oh, look at this. It's okay if it's a little thin or transparent. Look at this. I need to block this out. Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of these little weird details. But anyway, I want it to print only black ink, and as thin and transparent as that is, fine. Newspaper shows through it a little. I want the look. Oh my God, you motherfucker! See, I'm not familiar with that ad. You know what I get? I mean, it sounds familiar, but I'm not inundated with that to where I would go, Christ, I gotta go infect the world with this. I need to drag them into my hell. For me, it's listening to Spotify, and you may already have the virus that causes shingles, which is herpes. It's a herpes virus. It's just like having herpes on other areas in your body. You may already have it. Over and over, the fear mongering of that I need to get a lot of unnecessary vaccination, pharmaceutical shit. Ads on Spotify. That's what I'm getting. It's not like shingles will give me a burning rash for days at a time, will it? I don't believe that. Oh no, it will? 200 euros off for a family of 4. Well, they've really directed that. Yeah, you've really been laser targeted with those ads. Anyway, what was I saying before Erwin so rude? Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday, and right now you can save 50 euros. Is it pounds? Oh, euros is the E with the C with the two. £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions of free child. Oh, I'm drooling with anticipation. Of free child place holidays available with 22 kilograms of baggage included. Oh my! Does it cost extra for a seatbelt extension? Probably need one since the last time I flew. All right. So wait, Erwin, do you get that ad revenue or me? Like, what the kind of shit are you trying to pull here? You dump an ad in my chat, I should be able to wet my beak. I should be able to wet my beak on those advertising dollars. But okay, I know I need to export the. I need to get my shit together here. But I may be done. J. Jonah Jameson, aka Jason Lego, J.L. Jameson. I may be done, but I'm gonna export a tip of this and print out. Use the offer code Slobensy Nobensy Trump 25. Hey, Trump's not funny, dude. He's a dick. And he's funny. You can make fun of Trump. Okay. Save, export. I'm gonna export a TIFF. Export single layer TIFF. And I'm gonna go to my other drive here. This Cintiq, no matter how much stuff I dump from it, it still says it's like almost completely incapacitedly full of. It's got much more than 22 kilograms of baggage in it, but I don't know what it is because I've deleted all the stuff off of it. So anyway, I'll go to this external drive here and preliminary files, I think is where. Oh, shite. Okay, it's gonna save somewhere in here. I go duotone toning and 100%. That's what color this? Yeah. Now, Jason, I know you're trying. I know you got the Kickstarter going, but what if I want to color this? you know, your book, your newspaper's gonna have to wait for my. I, suddenly, I've been inspired to color this. Fuck no, I ain't coloring this. I'm like a 2 months overdrive. No, the tones. If I was coloring, I would did not do all these tones and how much attention that I paid to to the tones. It's going to be black and white. I want it to be. I don't know if you're probably joking, but I'm addressing it anyway. I don't care. But I want it to be pure black ink with no enrichment of the black, no CM or Y behind this black, because I want it to be a newsprint thing. I want it to look like a Warren, you know, as closest to a Warren magazine kind of thing, if I can. All right. So, wow, my screen is way behind. The screen is lagging way behind, but I'm exporting it. I know I'm looking at a window that shows it at 100%. Showing big fat variety of tones, but all the tones are 35 LPI and it's 600 DPI, so I feel that I have done the tones consistently as if someone who were working with Zipatone back in the day. What happened to Philip? Oh, you mean the number 2 fan? Oh, you're the number 1. You're my number. Erwin Papa's my number 1 fan. Okay. Anyway, all right, I got it. Not sure how I want to send. I want to send this to Mark where he gets the full glory of it because he's got to edit it. And I'm like, don't do any mate. Just please, just like correct the typos. But I'm not. I can't. No major. I don't want him to go. It's kind of difficult to transition from panel 3 to 4. It's a little. I know. It's. You know. I think you'll figure it out. Unless you're a dum-dum, you'll figure it out. You may go, wait, what? But that was a challenge, and the whole thing is challenging. I know there's nothing there that so that window is just my Clip Studio Paint. I'm done with Clip Studio Paint for the night. Okay, I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw this exported TIFF into Dirt 69. Let's see what this is. Newest file. Dirt 69 spread layout. Let's see what this is. let's see what I can do here. See what happens here. Whoa, that looks crazy. Wow, that almost looked like some dark thing I entered in like Contra or something, dude. Alright, this is a little program called Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so let's relink. Oops. Wait, what the Christ? Okay. Right. Let's relink. Relinquish. No, we're not going to relinquish. We're not going to relinquish. Preliminary. Wait. Wait, what the Where did I, wait, what did I, what the where did I save that? Oh, left, wait, what? Left, right, here it is. Christ. Okay. Yeah, I prematurely prematurely like it hit save before I found the final destination folder, and I said, fuck it, it's close enough, and I moved it. Okay, so I moved it. Boom. Alright, so this is what it should look like with that border around it. Yeah, so I assume I will send a PDF, and basically be two PDFs, left and right, laid out like this per the template from the printer. It'll be the placed and embedded TIFF, bitmap TIFF, 600 DPI, bitmap TIFF. It means there's no anti-aliased edge. It's just black. The information in the file black, white, or black, transparent. No gray tones, nothing. If you zoom in on it, it should have very blocky edges to everything. And the right one. So save this. Oh, it's saved. Okay. And then I'm going to print. I'm going to print it out, and then tomorrow I'll tape it together in a white box. Look for any crap I missed, and then make some version of it. I can send to Mark so he can give his final approval, and then I'll upload the files Jason. And then I'll probably buy a ticket. I hope I can bring my younger boy, but ticket to see Fantastic Four. Then probably go to my storage and get a Gundam model out from my backlog and finally build another Gundam model. Let's see. Okay, it's already set to, oh no, I love that paper. Oh. Oh no, my pants. Oh no, my pants fell down. Oh no, my trousers fell down. Sometimes when you're fat, well, you gotta unbutton that top button when you're sitting down, and then you go up and get up and load paper in your printer, and your trousers fall down. I know, my trousers fell down. Gravity and whatnot. Continue. What am I doing here? What you're not seeing is like a print dialog box. Rear feed, advanced, borderless. I think I need that. Not really printing borders. Okay, and then the next is printing. It's showing the Illustrator window, but not all the attendant windows. Not that. Now I am printing. Click on this little placement, click on the other corner. Can you do it? Oh, no. Wait, did you see my underwear just now? I didn't pull back on the shorts. Why? It's hot. It's bloody hot in this freezing country. It's bloody hot in this freezing country. All right. It's almost 1. I'm going to start shutting things down here. I do still have to get up at 6:30 for day job. Can you see in my underwear? Okay. Mysterious shadow, mysterious shadow, man diving in water shallow, halftone experimental. That's right. You heard me. I'll tape those together. I'll tape those together tomorrow. So I don't want to shout from the rooftops that I'm done. To my legions of fans. Because yeah, I'm sure I'll find some stuff I need to fix, and then I need to send it to Mark Gerard, the man who wrote the script, and so he can give me some notes, and hopefully he just says it looks great. Let's go. Please. And once it's ready, I'll upload it and notify Jason. Okay. Alright. Oh, I guess I should end the stream. Okay, so who's left? I see it said one concurrent viewer for a long ass time, and I'm gonna assume it's my #1 fan. Bless you, #1 fan. I crown thee. You have command over all these legions. It's 4 armies. No, 5. No, wait, 6. Here come the fairies. Okay, so that's it. That's the last of the series, like 6 streams. 6 long, boring ass streams with a lot of dead time. You know, maybe I'll pull them down and maybe I'll pull them off of there and turn them into, repurpose them as time-lapse things. I don't know. The sad thing is, or not, because this important, so that this important thing remains. Anyway, I thought when I started off doing this, I thought I had set my Clip Studio documents to record time lapse the way that Procreate seems to do automatically. Clip Studio Paint, you can do that too, and I thought I set it to do that, and then at some point I went to like, oh, maybe I'll see what's recorded so far and export it and just start a folder of those videos to, so when the project's done I can do one fast time lapse showing all sketchbook sketches, sketchbook sketches, all the stuff, script, poopy doopy sketches, and then all the digital time lapse, and just do a comprehensive thing. And then I looked and it was like, nope. You go to time lapse, start time lapse video. That's the only option because you weren't recording. I don't know. Maybe there's something, but anyway. All right. Good night. Good morning. Oh, it's 1 a.m. Good morning, rather. Okay, bye. You guys that stopped in, stay gold. I didn't have a lot of visitors, but the 2 people that did comment were fucking heavy hitters, dude. So, I can't complain. Heavy hitters. Alright, good night.